Trust what you say and that it's all okay. But everything starts to feel like a con, and I'm the pawn. Am I right or wrong?
Welcome back to another episode of Knock On. This week we're going to head up to British Columbia to do some more spot and stalk bear hunting with my good friends Bert and Dusty Fillion, who run Lobo Peak Guides and Outfitters. Now, if you remember from last year, me and my good friend Thomas had some awesome spot and stalk bear hunts, so we had some high anticipation this year when we got off the plane once again to chase around some of these black Bruins.
Initializing connection. Loading contact. Selecting field equipment. Equipment selected. Targeting destination.
Now, to lead in on my hunt, we actually need to rewind to 2 years prior when I had spotted a giant colored black bear out feeding in this green field, a beautiful chocolate. I made a great stalk, crawled across this open field and got within range of him. I thought I had him dead to rights. As soon as I pulled back and let the arrow go, this sucker spun inside out, dodged my arrow, and left me empty-handed. I was totally bummed, but luckily, as fate would have it, 2 years later, we met again. 2 years ago, I was in here. I thought a good shot on this black bear, or this brown bear. We never found the sucker. Last year, the farmer wouldn't let us in here. This year, we come and we ask again, and he says, yeah, go ahead. We literally come up here, seriously walk up here, and here's a huge sow and a chocolate cub. We were filming, oh, how cute. Next thing you know, we see a huge brown boar just working his way over the hill, sees those sow and cubs, and it just turned into the craziest brawl I've ever seen. And they actually came running down this, we got all ready, they came running down this edge, and I thought they were gonna come right to us, but then more fighting. The cub went up the tree, and both the adult bears went in there, so I think, well, we've been waiting to see if they come back out. They haven't, so we're gonna try to slip right up here and maybe see where they are. I mean, I guess if they're still occupied with themselves, we might get lucky, so stay with us. Let's try to do a little sneaky sneak. Be sure to visit knockonarchery.com to see our entire line of Knock On lifestyle clothing, as well as some awesome Knock On gear and accessories that I personally take to the field myself. Enter promo code SHOWFAN and I'll include a free signed photo. Also remember that all U.S. orders over 100 get free shipping. knockonarchery.com.
We seen this bear. We seen the bear come in with the sow. We chased him in here, and now he's bedding down. So we're gonna wait and go to sleep. Just pan back over to him.
Now, if you're looking for an awesome BC adventure, spot and stalk black bears, then I couldn't urge you enough to pick up the phone, and call Bert Fillion at Lobo Peak Guides and Outfitters. He's got just an unbelievable operation. It's great for archery, it's great for gun, whatever you like. He's got amazing black bear hunting, spot and stalk. I talked with Bert just a few weeks ago. He still has several openings for this season, so if you're interested in a great hunt, make sure you get in contact with him. I didn't know it at the time, but that first arrow wasn't as good as I had thought. When I first heard him make that moan, I thought he was done, but when I turned back, all I could see was him popping those teeth at me, staring me down. I thought he was getting ready to come, so naturally I just loaded another arrow and put it in him. That's him from 2 years ago, dude. I can't even believe it. Saw the big old fight. Can you hear that?
Sounds like a moose.
Yeah! I can't even believe it. 2 years ago, this same bear, I missed him. We come out here to the same field 2 years later, and he's out here chasing a sow around. They come up in the timber. We slip up in here, get a perfect shot on him. The first one just stunned him. I got another one in there. Dude!
Bam!
I can't even believe
He's
it.
huge.
Oh my God. Talk about a chocolate addiction. I know my wife has a chocolate addiction, and now I've definitely got a chocolate addiction. This big old Bruin slipped through my fingers 2 years ago. Made a good shot. He totally flinched, got out of the way of the arrow, came back 2 years later. We came and talked to the farmer, got in this field. This time I brought a 600 grain arrow, 75-pound carbon matrix, and I'll tell you what, they can't hold that. First shot was actually far back. I thought he was laying the other direction. Once we slipped down the hill, I couldn't remember which way his head was. I made a shot. He spun around and was trying to figure out what happened. Quick reload, pulled back. That time I seen his vitals, shot him, and just got down low, and it's pretty freaky. He was showing his teeth at me. He seen me. I don't think he knew what we were, but oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Thomas still has a tag. Stay tuned. Hopefully we got some more incredible bear hunt action from British Columbia with Lobo Peak Guides and Outfitters. The best in the business. Promise you. Stay tuned.
Field Recon.
For this tip, I want to give you a couple pointers for any type of spot and stalk hunting that you're going to do, because spot and stalk hunting is a little bit different than tree stand hunting, and any of you Midwestern hunters that are going to head out west or up to the northwest for spot and stalk bears, muleys, spot and stalk antelope, elk, whatever, there's a few things that you should probably know that's going to help you anytime you're spotting and stalking. One is going to be, make sure you always have a face mask and gloves, because when you're walking around, you're constantly going in and out of the sun, and you know, as you can tell, when the sun hits your face, you light up like a Christmas tree. So you want to make sure you've always got your face mask and a pair of gloves whenever you're spotting and stalking. The next thing is, I really like to have some type of bino system, and I've used several different ones in the past, that keep my binos close to my chest, because when I'm crawling around, if you have a standard set around your neck, they're going to be dragging in the dirt and just a constant pain in the butt. So have a bino harness that keeps them tight to your chest, and make sure you tighten it so that they stay right there where you need them. And then also, I'm sure over the last 2 seasons, you've seen this strap on me all the time, and this is an actual bino strap that I've just duct taped together right there, and I've got my rangefinder on it. And I always like my rangefinder right here. I mean, I want to be able to quick draw that sucker. So if you have it in your pocket or you have it dangling around your neck like that, again, for spot and stalk especially, you don't want anything that's hanging down in the dirt. Cross strapping it like this has always worked really well for me. So rig something up like that if you want to. The next thing is, whenever I'm spotting and stalking, I typically have a backpack, and in that backpack there's going to be 2 things in there. There's either going to be a thick pair of socks, or if you want to invest in them, a pair of sneaky feet. These things right here going over your shoes just totally deaden the noise compared to a hard rubber sole walking on the ground. These are really, really nice. Sneaky feet are awesome, and these are actually made by my buddy Jerry at Rancho Safari, and they're definitely a must, even for a whitetail hunter. But if there's areas where it's still too noisy to have a pair of shoes on, then if you want to go right down to your bare feet, which you've seen me do many times, just having a thick pair of socks to just pull over right after you take your shoes off is going to be excellent. So keep your binos close, your rangefinder closer. Make sure that you've got a face mask, gloves, and something to cover your feet with. The last thing that I can tell you is, if by chance you're somewhere out west where there's a lot of cactus, having a pair of rubber workman glove or leather workman gloves can definitely keep the cactus out of you, as well as some companies now are making some knee pads, which are also great for keeping the cactus off you. So try those tips on your next spot and stalk.
If you're looking to learn more about archery, be sure to tune in to Knock On Podcast. Knock On Podcast is a weekly talk show where I get in-depth with shooting techniques, equipment setup, and also give you a no BS review on some of the latest industry gear. Knock On Podcasts are great for listening on a road trip or that dreaded ride into work. Expand your archery knowledge with the highest level of world-class information on the airwaves. Knock On Podcast.
Dead Center.
This week what I want to talk to you about is knock fit, and there's several things that also factor into this. What I have here is I've got my bow, and I've got 4 different kinds of nocks from different kinds of arrows. And what you'll see here is all these nocks fit differently on this serving. Doesn't take much for me to show you that there's a difference in fit. And again, remember my rule, anytime you change anything, you change everything. And this is important because there is a difference between proper knock fit and not fitting the knock right or the serving right at all. And the two things that you don't want is a knock that is much too loose to where it just, literally does whatever it wants, because it can come off the string very easy. And sometimes that can get you in trouble when you pull the bow back and then need to let down. If you have a real loose fitting knock, sometimes that thing can just come off and your arrow ends up falling off. I've seen that happen plenty of times. Another thing is some knocks are much, much too tight, and as if you move the knock or the arrow, you can actually see the whole string moving with that. And the most important thing here is to make sure that when you have a knock and you clip it on your string, you want to be able to hear a slight snap, okay? You want to be able to hear a click, but you also want to be able to let your serving spin freely within the throat of the knock, okay? And that's important because it doesn't put any extra tension on your arrow. If you're adjusting your anchor position or if you have some extra face pressure, it's important that knock fits properly. And depending on the type of string on your bow, some knocks may fit better than others. Most manufacturers are going to make the thickness of their center serving here where you clip your arrow the proper diameter, but sometimes if people replace the center on their center serving and they don't have the correct diameter, then your knock is going to start fitting incorrectly. So the main thing is check your knock, clip it on, see if you can spin it freely without the whole string wanting to move, and also make sure that it's not too loose. You can take your knock out of the end of the arrow, make sure it's not too loose to where you're going to end up giving yourself a problem. And if you do have one that isn't fitting correctly, then just take it into your local retailer, tell them what's going on, and I'm sure they can either get a proper string on your bow that fits correctly, or they can replace that string serving, or get you different arrow nocks to where you're going to be shooting more dead center. Up in BC, a lot of times you're waiting for the really nice days where the sun is shining and the bears are out plentiful. And this was one of those days. So after taking care of my chocolate, me and Thomas switched roles and he had his turn behind the bow.
Am I gonna make it over that branch, dude? I don't know. Do you need to switch spots with me? Load another one, load another one. That was awesome stock, dude. Yeah. Oh my gosh. He's still right there, man. Unbelievable. Nice shot, dude. I was shaking McFits in it. Nice. Oh, wow. This thing's huge. Whoa, dude. Throw it in. Are you kidding? Nice. BC Bruins. I can't even believe it. How good is this thing? Just
a huge black bear.
Oh, nice.
Oh man, I never even saw this bad boy. Check out that action. Super. It's gonna make one heck of a rug. Stacy's gonna love it. This is awesome. I can't even believe it. What a good week. 50-yard shot. Couldn't find. It's awesome.
Let's get them both together.
Yeah, let's get these dogs together and get some snapshots. How lucky is that? How lucky is that? I'll tell you what, right there is it. Dudley gave me his knock-on hat to wear today. And we knocked and rolled, dude. Yeah, dog. That's huge.
Congrats, dude.
I'm so pumped. 2 tags in the bag. How good is this sight? This is what you want to see at the end of every hunt. Hearing a big old black beast battling.